Cancel the noise. Zero in. Focus.
Verschieb deine Komfortzone. Verschieb deine Komfortzone jeden Tag aufs Neue und sei nicht bequem und gemütlich.
Steven.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, finally we made it. You know, we postponed that interview, I think like 3 times, 4 times.
At least.
At least, but like always, the most spontaneous things are the best things. It happened like 2 days ago. Let's do it this day.
Yeah.
Everything happened. We're in a great place right now.
Yeah.
So I know you since a couple of years now.
Yeah.
I guess we met like
2018?
2018 for a photo shoot, and I was doing the behind the scenes, I guess.
Yeah. Our first studio shoot.
Yeah, first studio shoot. And since then we did like a couple of projects, so I know you very well. But introduce yourself to the audience. Who are you and what are you doing?
My name is Steven Jones. I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland. I've been in Germany for a long time, let's put it that way. And I am the creator of Ova Gold clothing company.
So going back in time, what was the turning point for you to create a label? Like especially a fashion label. What was the inspiration behind it? Was there a moment like where you was like, shit, I gotta do that. That's like, now it's the time to do it. I'm not going back. Or was it like something else in your life that?
From when I was a kid, like with my best friend, we always wanted to be MCs. And all our favorite MCs at the time had clothing labels. Yeah. So I just remember that like being like a really fond memory from when I was growing up. And then fast forward a lot of adult years. My son had just been born. I was in the military. And yeah, I had like an epiphany. And it was like, well, what do you really want to do?
With your life?
Yeah, like what really brings you joy? And I thought back to that time and just being creative. Like I love being creative. So yeah, that kind of took me down this road of, well, I don't want to really do music anymore.
Yeah.
But I still like the idea of creating art through fashion.
Yeah, I got you. So what year was that when you started, like where you launched the clothing brand? What year was it?
Let's see. When I got to Germany, it was like 2006.
Yeah.
And I linked up with a very good friend of mine who was also inspired to do his own label. And we decided to kind of partner up. And it's within that partnership that we kind of came to the idea of Ova Gold. And then, of course, like, you know, life happened. It took us in different directions. But I still stayed the course with this. And he's on even bigger and better things now.
Yeah. The brand to me is kind of unique. It stands out in terms of the name and a lot of times in terms of the design. It's like, from my perspective, when I met you and I saw the brand, it was not going in any direction what the mainstream was doing. It stood by itself a little bit. And it has like, for me, in a progression right now. It becomes even better with any collection you bring out.
Thank you.
And with the first shoot that we mentioned, I asked like every model that was there what their definition of soul was.
Yeah.
And at that time it was like hectic and you didn't really like had your definition ready yet.
Yeah.
Or you had not formulated it in your words. Did you find a meaning for Ova Gold or for soul in general?
Yeah. I think within the past year or two, like I looked back at some of the old things that we created, and I do remember like that first shoot and not having a definition of my own, being very impressed with everybody else's definitions, but feeling like as the creator, not having one, I should have one. So it took some time, and with some help from, you know, some other creative minds, kind of using them as a soundboard, I came up with an acronym for the word soul. So a soul to me, right, is a servant of universal law. It's finding your purpose in life and pursuing that purpose, like your true passion, whatever it is, being a provider, being a mentor, being a creator, anything.
Yeah.
That's like the true purpose of why you're here. And you do yourself a disservice if you're not pursuing that true passion of yours. And I put that above anything that's material in this world.
For sure.
So that's like my kind of like soul over gold.
That's amazing. Really impressed.
Thanks.
So that what you right now mentioned is like pretty motivational and inspirational. So where do you get your inspiration from? Is it music? Is it movies? How do you, for example, start a new collection? How those ideas come together? Where do you start? How do you finish and stuff like that? Tell the audience a little bit about that.
A lot of inspiration in the past has come from music, like just because I love all types of music.
Yeah.
So something as simple as an album cover or a song lyric or the title of a song can inspire like a whole collection. But more so now, it's a little bit more specific when I design something. Like I have an intent when I go into a design process. So yeah, I'll still take inspiration where it comes, but yeah, these days I'm a little bit more intentional with what we put out.
What are the goals like for this year, but more so for the next year with the brand? And are there any like big projects coming up that maybe you are able to speak about, or is there something like cooking in the back? Like, what do you want to do for the next year or two?
There's a collaboration with another brand called Wins and Losses. They're out of Kaiserslautern, Germany, that I'm looking forward to. That should be tentatively scheduled for the fall. Also like to do a summer soul cookout.
Yeah, you mentioned it before.
Yeah, and that's just like really like a gathering of people that like the brand or are affiliated with the brand or just friends and family. More of like an appreciation thing for everybody. And yeah, so much more after that.
We got you. Since we met like for the first time, and we did what we have to mention is for the audience, you've been in a few music videos, and we have to mention what I think like you were singing in one of 2.0's and Uncle D some like track. So you did like you still like connected to music, like you still do a little bit.
Yeah.
Is there something coming out, or do you try to pursue stuff like that, like on the side?
If my friends need me for a project, then I'm more than happy to participate.
Yeah.
But as far as any like personal agenda to create something musically, nah, I don't have that anymore.
No.
Nah.
What is the most or the biggest thing that keeps you going in life? I mean, like, you've been in the game for a little bit now. Yeah. So what is the motivation to keep going? Like, keep waking up, keep creating, keep pushing the envelope? Is there some like you pull from? Is it like just like something that you gained over the years of experience and maturity, or?
So yeah. The satisfaction that I get from people saying that they appreciate what like I've done or we've done collectively always like puts me in a good space and gives me that fuel to do even more. And inspiring others to kind of chase after what they really want to do, as opposed to just settling for what society would say is an acceptable path for them. So yeah, anytime I get that validation, that I know I've created something that other people can appreciate, not for its market value, but just for the creativity behind it or how it makes them feel when they put it on. Yeah, that's more than enough, like to keep the candle burning.
To tie into the motivation and all the years you've been in the game, I ask one last question everyone who's a part of Allow Me to Introduce Myself. And I ask them, if you could go back in time and meet your older or your younger self, if you had the chance to do that, what would you say to your younger self? What advice would you give to yourself, like knowing like everything that happened?
Oh, focus, focus, stay consistent, show gratitude. Yeah, take a moment to really bask in the moment and appreciate the moment, and yeah, then get right back on track. So yeah, and I think the younger me would, hopefully he would listen. Hopefully.
It depends on what age you meet him.
Yeah. But I think he was a good guy too for the most part. So should be all right.
Steven, I appreciate your time coming by, being a part of this journey and being a part of allowing me to introduce myself. I will link everything from the website, Instagram, below the video. So I hope everyone who's interested in your brand will visit your website, pick up some clothing, and maybe become a follower. So I appreciate your time.
Yeah, my man, thank you.
Cut.
Whew.